Hello everyone, welcome to Kill the Cast. My name is Jerry, and as always, I am joined by the ever-quotable Jay.
I pity the fool who don't listen to our podcast.
I pity them too, Jay. And a bunch of hellhounds are apparently there with Kenneth. Kenneth, did you actually go to Silent Hill today?
Unfortunately, no.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Well, Jay, how you been?
I've been okay.
I heard
Just
you got
okay.
I heard you got a good box in.
I did get a good box in, but you said we were going to talk about that later, not to talk about it during this intro.
I was talking about the box I sent you, jerk.
Oh, yes. No, the box you sent me was awesome.
I sent both Jay and Kenneth a box of half of stuff that Mosley had sent us, and then for each one I kind of threw in a little bit of extra stuff, plus a present from me. I got them bootleg copies of Return of the Living Dead Part 2 on Blu-ray with original audio, which is very important.
And it actually has the option to play the DVD audio too if you prefer.
Which,
and the commentary from the DVD, so that's just plain awesome.
Yeah. So Kenneth, how you been? Did you enjoy your box?
I did. I had an absolutely amazing mail day that day because not only did I get my box from you, but I got my Kill the Cast t-shirt, and I also got my my Georgia Gun Owners t-shirt. So all that in, it was a great mail day that day. And I got some cool shit in mine.
Kenneth loved all the mails that day.
Mm-hmm.
We have shirts. If you guys didn't see on our Facebook, you can get our Kill the Cast logo on a t-shirt. And anytime that website goes on sale, I will let y'all know, because every once in a while they do put the shirts down from like 20 to like 16 to 14. So when they do that, I will always let you guys know. So if you're waiting for a good sale to pick up one of our shirts, they will be there. But these shirts are guaranteed to get you laid, make you last longer in bed, and has no scientific evidence to back this up.
It's also not approved by the FDA, so...
Yeah, we are rebels here. We're not like you other podcasts that are all government approved. Not us. We're rebels. Kenneth owns a gun.
I own many.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Kill the Cast t-shirt right now, and it's like Viagra, man. It's just unfortunately I don't have anybody to share it with, so I've masturbated like 12 times today.
Okay,
Gross.
so
I figured I needed to share that with our audience.
yeah. Let's so we have a couple of other big announcements. First of all, this show is not the Last House on the Left show with Mr. Watson from Horror Corridor. He apologizes greatly, but he accidentally double booked a Sunday, and technically he booked Exploding Heads before us, so they got him Sunday, and next Sunday we will go and record with him. So the next show after this one will be Last House on the Left with Watson, under the condition that episode 8 of Horror Corridor is done and we can finally get the lightning to fix them like Jay said. Yeah,
yes.
I stole your joke, Jay. Deal with it.
You did, but you didn't even tell the whole thing in entirety, so nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
What's the whole joke again?
That we're Frankenstein and he's our monster, and all you did was mention lightning.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. It's because you said you wouldn't say the joke on the show, so I just wanted to get you to say the joke.
Well, it's too late now.
Well, no, but you just said the joke. I just tricked you into it.
Nope.
I feel, Kenneth, what do you say? Did I trick him into saying the joke or not?
I don't know what the fuck either one of y'all talking about.
Fair enough. So anyway, Watson sends his deepest apologies, and he will be with us next time. Another big news, Jay, you put out a wonderful YouTube video this week.
I did.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I decided to give HorrorPack a try. For anybody who doesn't know, HorrorPack is like Loot Crate, except that instead of random stuff, you get 4 Blu-rays and or DVDs, depending on which one you sign up for. And for those who are thinking of signing up for it, the DVDs that you get are different from the Blu-rays you get. So if you sign up for both, you end up getting 8 movies each month. But yeah, so I signed up for it for April. It showed up, and so I decided to open it on camera and show everybody what came in it. Pretty good stuff. You can check that out over on our YouTube. And then I also signed us up to be affiliates. So if you see the video and you think, damn, that's kind of cool, and you want to sign up for it, you can use our link to do so. We get a little money. You get a little money off. Win-win.
Yeah, and that link is horrorpack.com/go/killthecast. Of course, we'll have the link in the description also, so you can check it out there. And I signed up for mine tonight. So, because Jay got Pumpkinhead 2. And
Scream Factory Pumpkinhead 2.
Yeah, that's still a $15 Blu-ray, which is cheaper than a lot of the other Blu-rays by Shout, but still, that's still $15 Blu-ray.
Yeah. So it was $25. I had used the code to get $3 off. I got the Pumpkinhead 2, like you said. I got a movie called Poker Night, which I watched last night, and that was actually pretty good. I got a Blu-ray copy of Wolf Cop, and then each month there's a Horror Pack exclusive, and this one was a signed movie that I have not had a chance to watch yet or have even ever heard of. But it was signed by the actress, and it was only available in the Horror Pack, so that's kind of cool.
And who doesn't want signed Blu-rays? I don't know. There's probably some weirdo out there, but it doesn't matter. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, check it out. I think for May, I'm doing the Horror Pack video. So I guess Jay and I will just kind of switch off every month for as long as we continue to get them. Or maybe we'll do joint ones, and then we can make everyone vote who did it better between me and Jay.
That'd be fun.
We'll have a fight to the death.
One of us can get the DVDs, the other one can get the Blu-rays.
I ain't getting DVDs, ho.
But there's usually stuff that's not on Blu-ray.
I don't care. Actually, I bought 2 DVDs today, so I need to quit talking shit on DVDs. What, Komodo from 1999 is never going to get released on Blu-ray. Let's be honest.
And Shout Factory just announced it yesterday.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. The last bit of news is actually probably the biggest news we have. We have joined the Horrorphilia network of podcasts. Horrorphilia is a network done by Jason Lloyd of My Bloody Podcast and Bloody Bits. And we are now with them. We are on Team Horrorphilia, where you can see some of the best podcasts possible. You've got the Skeleton Crew, Exploding Heads. We've had Alex from the Skeleton Crew on here. You've got Horror Corridor. You've got Lycan It Podcast. If you like werewolves, the Howling special that Lycan did was fantastic. 22 shots of moods and horror. So many good podcasts. Like, there's something like, Kenneth, you've been watching a lot of Bates Hotel. Did you know there's a podcast on Horrorphilia dedicated to just horror TV shows called Evil Episodes?
Yes, I did. I haven't got around to listening to them because I'm trying to listen to so many. But yeah, I did. I knew there was one on there called Evil Episodes. I really need to get into that.
So, great place for you to check out tons of stuff, and you'll see some of them. You've actually heard a few of them do intros for us. And you'll see some of us on their shows and them on our shows in the future. And, of course, there is a Horrorphilia Horror Trivia Challenge coming up, which I was in because I'm on the Married with Children podcast, which is on Horrorphilia. So you'll see me on that also. But other than that, yeah, we're on Horrorphilia, horrorphilia.com. So we're glad to be there, and we're glad to go for their top 10. Every month, Jason puts out a video that tells you the most top 10 downloaded episodes that month. And we're aiming for that top 10 spot. We're shooting for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that all that news is done,
I'm super excited.
We have a treat for you. I came up to Kenneth and Jay. I physically walked up to them while they were in 2 different states. And I said, guys,
it's true.
I have a great idea for an episode. So I want to take a decade, and I want us to pick our favorite movie from each year for that decade. And in honor of how amazing Jay is, I said let's start with the 80s, because that is Jay's decade.
That's my decade.
So I said we should have done it from the 20s, but Jay wouldn't have it.
That's not true. I just wouldn't be able to participate until you got to the 60s.
So
the stage play of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde
Fuck yeah.
I wanted to start in the 1910s and talk about Frankenstein. No, there's like 5 people who have seen like that.
That one time that the guy on the
10-minute
bus
short
stop
film.
read Edgar Allan Poe was clearly the best of that decade.
Obviously, we need to go back and start reviewing Shakespearean plays.
I was there. I can do it.
Yeah, I heard Jay once bit his thumb at someone in the middle of a play.
It's very true.
It was dangerous. The dogs of war were let slip that day. E2, Jay. E2. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. We're starting from the 1980s, but we're going to work backwards. We're actually going to start at 1989 and go down because early 80s was better than the later 80s in my opinion, and I think, do y'all feel the same?
I think it's all good, but whatevs.
I think there are gems from both sides, but you can definitely see where you're starting, like especially in like 88 and 89, you can definitely start seeing where you're starting to get into that black hole of the early 90s.
Yeah, and speaking of gems, let's get into 1989, and let's go with, Kenneth, do you want to kick this off? 1989, what is your favorite horror movie of that year?
I had to go with Warlock.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Warlock was good.
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, it was just fun. You know, that was the main reason. I mean, it's a staple of my childhood. You know, I watched it all the time when I was a kid, and I thought the story was awesome. I thought the effects were great. Julian Sands was awesome as the Warlock in that, and I can't remember the actor's name who played Redfern, but he was awesome too. I loved them both, man. It was just a good, fun ride, man. I watched it. It's one of those movies that to this day I can just put it on the TV and just watch it and watch it and watch it.
I could watch someone play the Super Nintendo game for like 5 minutes. Does that count?
It's not a good game, but it is a good movie.
Yeah. But that is a good movie. Okay, Jay, 1989, what you got?
Pet Sematary.
Oh, okay. What's why Pet Sematary?
Because it's a good movie.
Oh.
Duh.
Okay. I chose Pet Sematary also.
Did you?
I'm with you.
Interesting.
Like, I feel... I almost wanted to choose a guilty pleasure and go with Jason Takes Manhattan.
See, that wasn't my favorite. I love... We've been over this. I love Friday the 13th, but that was not my... It's not one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, and I'm with you, and I was like, I prefer Pet Sematary so much more.
Pet Sematary is more original than the 8th Friday the 13th.
And Pet Sematary is one of those movies that if you watch it with a critical eye, there are so many plot holes, and none of it really makes sense. There's really bad big plot holes.
And wait, in Friday the 13th or Pet Sematary?
In Pet Sematary, there are literally plot holes that are bigger than.
What are the plot holes?
Church. They're bigger than Church. How does Gage get hit by a 18-wheeler, and when he comes back, he just got a little blood on his head? That's it. He ain't lost a limb. He's not crushed.
Because it lifted him off of his feet.
He still should have.
And his body was intact. Yes,
the whole front
physics.
of that kid
That's
not
fucked
up.
Yeah,
that's bad physics. That's not a plot hole.
That is a plot hole. That body should not be coming back from the grave.
Bad physics. They never showed him splattered all over the ground, so it's not a plot hole.
I feel it is a plot hole because logic dictates.
You can feel all you want. It's not real. Logic doesn't exist in movies. It's a movie about a cat that comes back to life.
Look,
it's fucking vicious.
I will fill you up until you agree with me.
Here's the biggest plot hole. The family letting other kids run around when they know damn well their house is next to a busy-ass highway. How about that? That's the plot hole.
Well, that's just dumb parenting. That's America.
Right, see? Exactly. Dumb parenting, bad logic. That's all this is.
Anyway, I disagree with Jay. Me and Jay disagree on this one. Kenneth, where are you at? Do you see the Gage getting hit by a semi-truck as a huge plot hole or not?
Now that I think about it, I mean, technically for being a plot hole, no. I just think it's a fuck up in continuity.
Yes, there you go. See,
I think it's a plot hole because it technically ruins the plot because Gage shouldn't have came back. He's fucking.
But it's not something that they showed to be part of the plot and then contradicted themselves later. Like it's not like watching somebody drop their last clip in an action movie and then all of a sudden have an extra clip. That's a plot hole. This is just
all right. I got an idea.
Wait,
we'll
action
just remake
movies?
Pet Cemetery and we'll bring back an arm, and that can be Gage.
There we go. Do you think the Pet Cemetery can like what's the word I'm looking for? Regenerate the bodies, or can it just bring them back to life?
It can, because it brings the cat back, because the cat gets run over and it was flat, and then it breathes in and now it has air.
Oh, okay. Maybe we've got something there. Maybe it's not a huge plot hole as big as I thought. We'll have to look into that later.
Hey man, that's the power of native magic.
But but one of the two things I really loved about this movie, it has two scenes that are fucking terrifying. Zelda is terrifying. That is the scariest fucking throwaway scene I have ever seen in my life. Like, it literally, the whole movie could go on without that one scene. Like, that does not affect the movie at all, but it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And then the other scene, Gage cutting Judd's Achilles tendon.
Oh, yeah,
that is brutal.
But see, that's wicked in just about anything you see it in. You see somebody getting their Achilles cut, that's wicked in just about any movie.
I agree, but it's even more wicked that it was done by this little fucking evil child that I would have punted.
I gotta give credit to the kid though.
Yes.
The actor that did all that.
Well,
I mean,
wasn't it twins? I'm pretty sure it was twins. In a lot of those movies, they hire twins because
I don't think so.
Legal...
That same kid's on Full House at one point.
Yeah, and that same kid was also in.
Are you talking about the kid?
New Nightmare.
Hold up. Are you talking about like the boy twins from that Jesse has?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was one of Michelle's friends.
Oh, okay.
And he was, like I said, he was also in New Nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. Give me a second. I'm going to check it out here really quick.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that...
His name's like Mika or Mako.
Yeah, Miko Hughes. Yeah, just him by himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, then. I retract. I'm just retracting all my stupid statements tonight.
Apollo 13. Yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Pet Sematary, Mercury Rising. That was a good movie.
Okay, well... So there were some other. Those are our picks for 1989, but we had some other good movies. Robert Englund directed a movie, 976 Evil. We had Chud 2, Bud the Chud, which is one of the greatest names for a movie ever. And we had a lot of sequels. Speaking of that, Exorcist 3, Friday 8, Halloween 5, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Sleepaway Camp 3. We also got a couple of really good, we had one movie that I feel was like super, super original for this year, and that was Parents. I don't know if you've ever seen Parents, but that is...
I have not.
That is
I haven't either.
Very, very unique movie. It's out on Blu-ray from Vestron, but Vestron movies are stupid expensive. So...
They can be.
I got to give credit for honorable mention for Leviathan, man.
I've never seen that.
You should watch it, dude. It's really good. You should watch it.
My honorable mention goes to the guilty pleasure of Friday the 13th, Part 7. Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Not 7. Stupid Roman numerals.
Puppet Master came out that year, too.
The first Puppet Master?
Mm-hmm.
Was that really that late? It was 89? I thought it came out early in 80s.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, alrighty then. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say about 1989?
Nope.
I was in kindergarten.
Alrighty, I was 1 year old. So, now we're going to, speaking of one of the greatest years to ever happen to the world. 1988, Jerry was born. Yes, I am the greatest thing to come out of 1988, but we're not talking about me. We are talking about the movies. So, 1998, I feel I get to go first since it's my birth year.
88. You just
88.
said 98.
Yeah.
88, 98. Did I tell y'all I haven't been sleeping a lot? Have I told y'all? I think it's Zelda's fault. So
yeah, at this point, I'm about ready to just somebody just knock the hell out of you. Just tell Reese H in the back of the head of the show.
No, because she's gonna fuck up and hit me in the face. I'm gonna be walking around like little Nicky.
Either way, at least you'll be sleeping.
Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So in 1998, on October 14th, 1988, I was born. But we also had the premiere of my favorite horror movie from 1988, and that is Pumpkinhead.
Aw.
This movie
so sweet.
is me. It's set in the South, and I'm from the South. It has a lot of religious connotations to it, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid because my grandfather was a preacher. I knew about like biblical demons, and the fact that in this old southern hick town they brought back a demon of revenge who just wreaks havoc scared the shit out of me. Ed Harley is such a good character, with him losing his son in an accident and the grief making him go to this old witch to get this demon of revenge to punish the teenagers who killed his son on accident. And then he goes on to regret it, and then he goes toe-to-toe with Pumpkinhead. It is glorious, and one of the best scenes ever is when Pumpkinhead draws the cross into the chick's forehead right before he kills her.
Lance Henriksen is great in everything he's in.
Yeah, and directed by Stan Winston. And Stan Winston is
nice.
Is fucking amazing.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah, I had to say that because, again, Lance Henriksen, awesome and creepy in everything that he's in.
Yeah, he's really good. So, Jay.
Yes.
1988. What is your choice?
Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
Okay. Good choice. I wouldn't have picked it, but good choice.
Yeah, just looking at everything else that came out that year, that is the one that I enjoyed the most.
I actually feel like 1988 was pretty solid in general.
Mm-hmm.
So
I almost picked Pumpkinhead, to be honest with you, but
Oh.
I decided I liked Hellraiser 2 a little bit more.
Fair enough.
I like the mythos of Hellraiser 2. I mean, I hate the fact that you don't really like it, Jerry, but I like the fact of, them going into hell and taking it that route, and you getting to see the Leviathan and the whole nine. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I thought it was pretty good.
Fair enough. Speaking so Jay, is there any particular reason behind Hellraiser 2 that you really like it? Like any scenes or anything?
Just the whole movie. Like, as far as sequels go, it was pretty good. It was a direct follow-up. It expanded on everything that we saw in the first movie. It wasn't just like a repeat of the story. The special effects were just as good.
Gotcha. All right. Kenneth, 1988. What is your favorite thing about me? I meant favorite movie.
Friday the 13th, 7.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. My favorite out of the entire series.
Got get you some Kane Hodder action.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, number one, that was the best zombie Jason look out of all of them. It looks amazing. And even people that dislike this movie overall agree that it's the best look for Jason that has ever had. All right, that's number one. Number two, Jason was like a fucking superhero, man. When he come bursting through that window after that chick and just looked pissed off as fuck, that was awesome. I mean, that was great. That was one of my favorite scenes is when he comes to that window. I thought it was great. And then when the mask splits in half, man, and you see up underneath, and he's breathing all hard and his fucking and you can see inside of his jaw and he's gritting his teeth. That was great.
I definitely agree. It is the best looking zombie Jason by far.
I'm the best looking zombie Jason by far.
You're not even a zombie yet.
That you know of.
You know, that's a valid point. I've never physically met you except when I cut myself in half and went to you with this idea. I've never actually met you in real life. You could, in fact, be a zombie with you just have really good makeup, so you look human.
Yep.
Interesting. So,
but I mean, when it really comes down to it, I catch a lot of flack because that's my favorite one. That's my favorite Friday the 13th. I catch a lot of flack because of it, but I really like the aspect of them getting away from the typical, Jason just basically, walks around and fucking kills people. I like the fact that they got away from that, even though in part 6 it got a little bit more comic-y, and but I really enjoy the fact of him having a specific villain to go against, or vice versa, I guess. A specific hero to go against that was a little bit more on his level.
Yeah, someone that could actually, do something against him and not, part 8 where he gets into a boxing match and then just uppercuts dude's head off.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, or with Tommy Jarvis, man. Even though Tommy Jarvis is iconic, you know, I mean, Tommy Jarvis was a great character. But even with that, you know, Tommy Jarvis didn't have any specific abilities other than just being smart and fucking hating the fact that, you know, this creature ruined his life. So, you know, that was the reason why I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
Fair enough. And we had some really good movies in 1980. You had the remake of The Blob.
Yeah.
That almost made it on the list too. But
Yep. You had
I realized how little I've actually watched that one.
Yeah. You have the LSD trip Brain Damage.
So good.
You've got the terrible, terrible movie of Child's Play.
That was a good one too.
Oh, that movie's terrible. I don't know what you're talking
you
about.
are.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, yes. You've got that. You got Fright Night 2.
Oh, those tits, my word.
Man, that whole movie was hilarious.
Yes. I agree. It's actually coming out on Blu-ray soon.
Nice.
Halloween 4, we finally get Michael Myers returning, and a lot of people don't like Halloween 4 and 5, but those are probably the two I watched the most as a kid. You have the Hobgoblins, which is only good if you watch the Mystery Science Theater version. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You had directed by Steven Chiodo, but the Chiodos brothers did all the special effects for it. Lair of the White Worm, which just came out on Vestron. You had Maniac Cop, which
I didn't like that one.
You don't like Maniac Cop?
I did it for this past year's 30 Days of Halloween, and I don't know. It was kind of like,
You had George A. Romero doing a non-zombie movie with Monkey Shines.
Have y'all seen that?
A long time ago.
That's such a weird movie.
Yeah.
That's about the helper monkey that kills people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
You had the other movie that came out on the day I was born, Night of the Demons. Which
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, it's so good. Dude, when I was a kid, I saw this movie. I rented it. And because my dad would let me rent whatever the hell I wanted to, as long as it wasn't South Park. And there's a scene in there with Leanna Quigley, who you know from the first Return of the Living Dead. She gets nude in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie, she takes a thing of, once she's possessed, she takes a thing of lipstick and like draws around her tit and then pushes it inside of her tit through her nipple. And it's such a well done effect. But
I was just about to make a joke about that. Actually, I was just gonna be like, "Yeah, your dad will let you, watch a chick shove lipstick into her tit, but he won't let you watch South Park."
Yeah, exactly. But I forgot what the movie was called, and I kept getting it confused later on in life with Tales from the Crypt's Demon Knight. And like for the longest time, I thought that scene was from Demon Knight instead of Night of the Demons. But that's my runner-up. Night of the Demons was my clear runner-up because I love that movie. I think it's so much fun. We also had Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Phantasm 2, Poltergeist 3, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Sleepaway Camp 2, a childhood favorite of mine, Slugs, and we got to throw some Italian love in there with Zombie 3 by Lucio Fulci and Bruno Mattei. So
Waxwork
was also from there.
Waxwork was really good. Yeah, my second runner up with it was either going to be Friday 7 or The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Serpent and the Rainbow is good.
It's really good.
Godsmack's song Voodoo is about that movie, according to them.
Oh.
So good.
I didn't know Godsmack knew how to watch movies. I just assumed that they just lived on a like motorcycles and just drove around constantly and only got off to play music.
Any sense?
Where do you get this shit?
Anyway, anybody else got anything to say about 1988? No? Okay.
First I played with Dad, then Mommy came and I played with Mommy. We played, Daddy. We had an awful good time. Now I want to play with you.
Nope. 1987.
My favorite video of 1987 was the sex video of Jerry's parents conceiving him.
Knowing my dad, I could see that happening.
I really don't want to see Kevin nailing anybody. I really don't.
I don't know, man. Dad could probably throw it. He was a pimp back in his day.
I'm sure he could, but I just have no interest in seeing it.
I mean, it led to his first divorce, but still. Okay, so 1987. We're gonna lead this one off with Jay. Jay, where are you at for 1987?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3: The Dream Warriors.
By Chuck Russell.
What?
The director's name is Chuck Russell.
Oh, okay. I don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, absolute my all-time favorite, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Why? Okay, Nightmare on Elm Street. Most people either say Nightmare 1 is their favorite or Nightmare 3. What is it about 3 that is so appealing, Jay?
It's the idea that we can be whoever we want in our dreams. You have a bunch of kids who are all fucked up for different reasons, and then this guy comes along trying to kill them in their sleep, and this other person comes along and teaches them that they can be fucking superheroes in their dreams. And I've always liked that concept. The guy becomes the paralyzed dude becomes a fucking wizard. A wizard, Jerry. A wizard.
You know, here's the question. Here's my thing.
That's badass.
If
I want to be a dream wizard.
You realize if someone else would have been Freddy Krueger besides Freddy Krueger, they could Freddy Krueger, and the person who became Freddy Krueger went into Freddy Krueger's dreams, and Freddy Krueger could have done anything he wanted. He could have been a pedophile in his dreams, and he would have never been burned to death. And so Freddy Krueger could have saved himself if someone else had been Freddy Krueger.
You've been up too long.
Time to take a nap, sir.
You've been up far too long.
I tried to take a nap today. I laid down in bed with my cat. We watched Scream 2. I thought it would put me to sleep, and it didn't. I didn't fall asleep. So, Kenneth,
honestly, I got an opinion on Nightmare 3. The reason why I think that everybody loves Nightmare 3 as much as they do, besides what the obvious reasons that Jay suggested, is also it's the first one that really brings you into that 80s MTV culture.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not dark anymore. You know, Freddy's right out in the forefront. He's got that's the one where the little quips and the one-liners really come in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's got one of the most iconic ones. You know, the "Welcome to Prime Time," bitch, as he puts that chick's fucking head into the TV. You know, I mean, and that's really what it is, man. I mean, that one is the first one to really pull it into, okay, this is going to be a mainstream, iconic villain in pop culture.
Fair enough. All right, Kenneth, if your choice is not necromantic, I'm going to be super pissed. What's your choice?
1987?
Yeah. It's necromantic, right?
Nope, it was Hellraiser.
What? How did you not pick the movie that involved two people having a threesome with a corpse?
Oh, God, you guys have that video? I thought I destroyed it.
Whoa. Alrighty then. So Hellraiser, you say, directed by Clive Barker. Tell us a little bit about that. I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, sure. Okay. No, when it really comes down to it, man, I mean, this movie I'm a huge Clive Barker fan as it is. I mean, I love his books. I love his other movies. And
do you
there's
love
this
CD?
Do I love his
original
what?
music?
I've been on his website and checked out just about everything, even to the point of where I almost spent $400 on a painting.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I love Clive Barker. If, you know, he's one of those that, you know, if he were here, I probably would suck his dick. Okay. So anyhow, getting past that, there's just something about this movie, man, that really hits home with me personally for my psyche. It's got all the major things that really appeal to me. It's got religious connotations. It's got new iconic characters that people hadn't seen before at this time period. And then on top of that, the special effects are awesome. I mean, you know, I've got it going on my TV right now. That's when Frank first starts coming up out of the boards in the attic. You know, and that's that whole transformation of where he starts as goo and then comes back. Dude, that's awesome. The work that they did in that was just amazing.
Yeah.
And then the muscly, as they're coming back together. The suits that they put on these people to make them look all muscly and sinewy and stuff. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I've got to say, I've seen Hellraiser before, and it never did anything for me up until a couple of months ago when Reese and I went to Full Moon Cinema and watched a double feature in the theater of Hellraiser and the Lost Boys. And it's like I had never seen the movie before, and I was so captivated the entire time. I don't know if it's because I paid for the movie and now I had to I got to get my $7.50 worth here. But it struck a chord with me so much so like that the next day I started, I started watching Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, which I didn't, which is good. I just don't care for it as much as I like Hellraiser.
Yeah. I mean, and I like the second one. But, you had a hard time with that new book that Clive Barker put out, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I still want to finish it. It's just because my experience with Hellraiser is only, like, from the movies and not good recollections from the movies. Like, I'm not sure which ones I've all seen. I know at this point I've seen Hellraiser 1 through 4. I'm halfway through 5, and I've seen halfway through Revelations.
I didn't even finish Revelations. It was stupid.
And the first thing you read in the Scarlet Gospels is just so in your face and extreme that you're just like, holy shit! Like, it's not anything like what I picture Hellraiser or what I pictured Pinhead as. Not that it's bad, it's just very jarring to me. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to go like I could see Jay masturbating to like that first chapter.
It's good shit. It's really I love the hell out of it.
So I'm gonna finish.
You should read that, Jay. Jay, you should read the Scarlet Gospels, especially since you did that comparison between Hellbound Heart and Hellraiser. You should read the Scarlet Gospels because it's like a follow-up to Hellbound Heart.
I should.
Yeah. So, so let's go into my favorite movie. And does anyone have a guess what I picked for 1987?
My dick.
Shit, you're right. I picked your dick because your dick is 7 inches long, and I love to eat it nine times a day. You're number one.
Monster Squad.
It is the Monster Squad. I love the Monster Squad.
Baby.
It is my favorite horror comedy of all time. And everyone knows I'm a huge Universal Monster fan. So this movie was like just made for me. And growing up, I was a huge Wolfman fan. And Monster Squad was my Wolfman. I loved him. Every scene that involves the Wolfman is amazing. From him going crazy in the police station, him going crazy in the phone booth, him getting kicked in the nards. Who knew?
Find out he has nards.
The Wolfman's got nards. How? I mean, come on. Him getting blown up by dynamite and then re-coming together. It's just fantastic. But in general, that movie is so good. It has so many good one-liners. It has a solid story. I love that movie so much. I can watch it almost like any time. So I love the Monster Squad. I would I'd make love to it. I would.
You haven't?
Well, I didn't want to admit it, but I do have the Blu-ray, and my dick does fit inside the hole, so I have, on occasion, made love to it.
Yeah, see? You like Monster Squad like I like Clive Barker.
Yeah. So, 1987, we had some good stuff here. We had a fucking another crazy out there movie, Bad Taste by Peter Jackson. Blood Diner.
His early shit was crazy.
Yeah, he did some crazy shit, his early stuff, and then just kind of like chilled out and was like, I only fuck with elves now, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only fuck with billion-dollar properties.
Yeah, I mean, I fucked up King Kong, but damn if I can't fuck with some elves now. You got something to say about King Kong, Kenneth?
I liked it.
What? How did you like? How are you gonna turn King Kong and make King Kong look more animalistic, and then make him figure skate.
Yeah, that's where it lost me. The
'cause it
figure
was cute.
skating is where I lost me. I was just like, this is lame. And the crazy thing is, but at that point, Lord of the Rings, how much money he made off of that, it really didn't fucking matter at that point. He could fuck up whatever he wanted.
Jay, your argument for that scene is that it's cute. My small dick is cute. That scene is atrocious.
Put it on fucking film and let me watch it then.
All right. We have Blood Diner, which is a fun movie.
That was good.
That's now you can get that on Blu-ray on Vestron now. Also, Creepshow 2, which I actually feel is really good. I think the black slime in the
it's just
water.
not as good as the first one.
Well, yeah.
The black slime in the water is the one that really gets me, man. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. We had Evil Dead 2, one of the other great horror comedies. Even though I don't like to put it in the horror comedy thing, because I know it is a horror comedy, but I don't know. I just don't ever like to put it in that category. We had The Gate, which also
The Gate was really good.
is fantastic.
Although it does have that anti-heavy metal agenda.
Well, that's why I like it. I'm tired of these metal bands. Iron Maiden. Pick a different kind of metal. Steel Panther. Stop it. Jeez.
Steel Panther's fucking great, dude. Oh my god.
Guns N' Roses.
Jerry,
Your guns need to be made out of plastic.
Have you ever really listened to Steel Panther?
Is it? Yeah, in that movie. What's that movie? Rockstar. Yeah, Steel Panther was that movie. Yeah. It had the chick with the dick.
No. Okay. Yeah. No.
No. Steel Panther is a parody hair metal band that sings songs about sex and shit.
How is that a parody of a hair metal bands? That is what hair metal bands do.
Dude, you don't understand. Okay, it literally is parodying 80s hair metal bands. It is taking it to the extreme. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, I'll after this is done, I might have y'all shoot me a few songs and I'll look at this.
Dude, you need to, man. It's so funny.
But speaking of funny, we had Ghoulies 2. We had House 2, The Second Story. Also out on Blu-ray. A lot of these good, man, 80s is getting a lot of movies on Blu-ray these past 2 years.
Because it's the best decade.
Blood Diner, Creepshow 2 got a amazing Arrow release. The Gate, House 2 just got an Arrow release. We had The Terrible Howling 3. We had, let me go into my runner-up for this was Jaws the Revenge. Because I don't care what anyone says, Jaws the Revenge is such a fun time. I can watch that movie anytime. And if you think Jaws 3 is better, you're wrong. And I feel bad for you.
My favorite Jaws is the one where they take care of him in SeaWorld.
That's Jaws 3, you fuck.
Are you serious?
I don't know the names.
Oh my
Jay,
god.
Are you serious?
I used to show on I don't know if it was HBO or public TV or whatever it was.
TNT.
I watched that one 4 or 5 times and it fucking cracks me up.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Okay.
we had the
Lost Boys.
Yeah, the Lost Boys.
That was a great movie too.
We had Necromantic, since we need a foreign film in here. We had Necromantic, and I'm really surprised Kenneth didn't pick that. Kenneth, have you ever seen Necromantic?
I have.
Dude,
Redneck Zombies, man.
and then we, of course, had Prince of Darkness by John Carpenter. So,
I hated that movie.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah,
okay.
I thought Prince of Darkness was fucking retarded.
I
think
know
that's the
what we're
worst movie
doing
that John
one day on
Carpenter's
this
ever done.
show. Prince of
So what?
Darkness. We're doing Prince of Darkness one day.
Okay, we'll do it, and you'll listen to me for however long we're there. Talk about how shitty it is.
Hey, you did it for me for The Village and Nightmare on Elm Street and The Witch.
Okay, I
Man.
ain't got no problem with it. I'm telling you, I'll do it.
People
But
are
no,
gonna fucking hate
going
me.
back to going back to the one you were talking about, Necromantic. Yeah, I've seen it, man. I've only seen it once though, and so I need to revisit it.
Hell, it's on Blu-ray and its sequel, Necromantic 2, which I don't feel like after you see Necromantic 2 doesn't work because it loses its shock. You're like, okay, whatever. Anyway, Kenneth, what was your runner-up for what's your honorable mention for 87?
It would be between Creepshow 2 and Evil Dead 2. It'd be between those two.
Agreed.
Okay, no Lost Boy love here. Gotcha.
I mean,
love
don't get me
Lost
wrong.
Boys, but
Yeah, The Lost Boys was good, but we're talking about what our favorites are, and it's like I've seen The Lost Boys a bunch of times, but at this point in time in my life, if I'd never watched it again, I wouldn't be upset.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so
I'll give it credit where credit's due.
1986. Kenneth, let's start with you this time. What is your favorite horror movie of 1986?
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Fucking fantastic choice. I like the catchphrase it had when it came out. He's not Jason. He's not Freddy. He's Henry.
Right. And I thought it was amazing. Because this was one of those first, movies where you really get into the psyche of someone, that it's almost like it's behind the scenes of, like Charles Manson and stuff like that, the real deal, reality. And I think that's what made that movie so good, because, we'd had movies that really get your gut wrenching, like I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left and stuff like that. But this one right here really, you're following Henry along as he's going through the mental, aspects of him being fucking nuts. And it's like, I really, really enjoyed it. Not to mention that dude that was with him, getting his rocks off with the same thing, and how it showed the differences between Henry and that guy. It was really, really good.
I agree with you. I haven't watched that in a while. I need to watch that again.
Such a good movie.
All right, Jay, 1986. What are you choosing?
86. I have the Fly remake.
Oh, David Cronenberg.
Yes, that's his name. Just some of the most amazing special effects that I had ever seen when I watched the movie for the first time. I think it's better than the original. Hey, I've actually watched the original too, so there's an old movie I've seen.
Nice.
I'm so proud of him.
It's everything about it is good.
Cronenberg is like the man of body horror. He is so good at it.
I'd like to meet him.
I'd like to
There's
have
a lot
sex
of people
with him.
I'd like to meet, but they won't let me near a lot of them.
I wonder why. Cronenberg is fantastic. The Fly is not my favorite Cronenberg movie.
What else has he done? I'm terrible at knowing directors.
Naked Lunch, Videodrome,
The Brood.
Videodrome I've seen.
Videodrome's fantastic.
Rabid.
Didn't he do Shivers? Or did someone else do Shivers? I don't
think I've seen any of those other movies you listed except for Videodrome.
You need to see The Brood. And he did Scanners.
I saw Scanners. That was
yeah. He was in Nightbreed.
Yeah, he was in Nightbreed. I learned that recently, actually.
Nightbreed's good.
He was the guy that played Decker, the dude that put the mask on that was the killer.
Yes.
Yeah, that was David Cronenberg.
Videodrome's my favorite movie by him. Kenneth, what's your favorite movie by Cronenberg?
I'd probably have to go with Videodrome. That'd probably be my favorite.
I fucking love Videodrome.
Yeah, it was good, and that was actually the first Cronenberg movie I ever saw.
That's a weird fucking movie.
Yeah.
I saw Videodrome before I saw Fly.
I think The Fly is probably the first Cronenberg movie I had ever seen. But a lot of people were introduced to Cronenberg through The Fly. So, in fact, if I can find a way to get to the movie, to Full Moon Cinema this weekend, their double feature is John Carpenter's The Thing and David Cronenberg's The Fly.
Nice.
And Reese has to work, so I'm trying to bribe someone to take me. So my favorite movie of this year is Psycho 3, which you can hear a full review of that by Kenneth and I on show 22 of Kill the Cast.
Cool. No, we ain't got to talk about it no more then.
Yeah, real quick, I want to say, if you've never watched the Psycho sequels, watch Psycho 2 and 3. They are actually really good. Psycho 3 is fantastic. I like it.
Is that the one where he calls the radio station?
No, that's Psycho 4.
Oh, I like 4.
I have yet to watch it.
Such a fucking weirdo.
I don't know if I've seen 2 or 3. I'm just talking about shit I like. God, I can go if it upsets you so much.
It's just, oh man! Out of all of them,
I haven't seen 2 or 3.
You've seen the first one and the fourth one.
Yes.
Okay, the first 1 through 3 are the best ones.
Okay, I didn't say that the fourth was the best one. I just said that I enjoyed it. God.
Anyway,
did you watch Bates Motel?
I've watched the first season and half of the second season, I think.
Okay, can you relate the differences between the way they did his mom in reality versus how fucking crazy she was in that fourth one?
It's been a long time. I'm not prepared for this comparison discussion.
I'm
You
not
should
ready
watch
for
them and
your
compare.
questions.
I was just trying to say the fourth one was good, okay? God.
Alrighty then. So,
Okay,
Next time I
okay.
won't say anything.
Okay, no, please say things. I like when you say things. It makes me feel all jittery. I love Psycho 3. It's actually way deeper psychological, and it's very much a great slasher. And there's some great scenes in there. There's some great camera lighting, and Anthony Perkins, who plays Norman Bates, he directed this movie, and he did a fantastic job. And even though he found out he had AIDS while he was directing this movie, he pulled through and put out a fantastic movie. I actually, if someone was going to be like, Jerry, let's watch a Psycho movie, which one do you want to watch? Psycho 3 is what I will pick every single time, even over the original. And I love that scene where he has to get out of the car. I don't want to say too much since Jay's never seen it, but damn good movie. So 1986, we had some other movies come out in a sci-fi, mostly action kind of horror movie. We had Aliens by James Cameron. We had April Fool's Day. We had Shopping Mall. We had Class of Nukem High.
Yeah.
We had my runner-up, which is Critters, because I fucking love Critters. Oh my god, do I love Critters. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. We had House. House is absolutely fantastic, even though it is really, really, really cheesy. Maximum Overdrive, which was actually directed by Stephen King. Poltergeist 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and we had Troll, which is where Harry Potter came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we had Gothic, Vamp, and Witchboard.
People actually still talk about Witchboard? Oh, shit.
I loved Witchboard. It was another one of those that I watched a lot when I was a kid. Gothic's another one of those good ones, man. Done by Ken Russell. So.
So what's your honorable mention then, Kenneth?
Mine would probably have to be. It'd be a toss up between The Hitcher and Witchboard.
The Hitcher is so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jay, what about you? What other movie was aiming for your top spot?
I don't know. There's so many. Like it's hard enough for me to pick a favorite. To ask me to pick like a second favorite, like when everything just kind of ties.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I had.
I'll say The Hitcher just because we just mentioned it.
All right.
That was a good movie.
We have such sights to show you.
All right. So, 1985. Jay, lead us in. What's your favorite?
H.P. Lovecraft's The Reanimator.
Nice.
I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, and that's probably still the best movie to be made based off of his works. Not exactly like the short story, but still really good. And just, I love it. It's funny. It's gross. It's got gore.
It's got Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, whoever that is. Was he the doctor who gets his head removed?
No, he was the other guy. The one with the black. Yeah, the main guy.
Oh, okay. Herbert.
Stuart Gordon definitely did a good job directing Reanimator for sure. And I
just have a list of all the directors so you can name drop them as we talk.
What do I?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a list of like the movies and the directors. I did work, man. My original list though was bigger. It had movie, director, 2 top billed actors, and country of origin. And then I was like, no one cares about all that. This is a mess. Let me just do like the movie and the director.
Oh man. You're funny.
But speaking of H.P. Lovecraft, I've never been into H.P. Lovecraft, but here recently, I have found out that a lot of the things I'm really into are very much Lovecraft inspired, including John Carpenter's The Thing. And I recently found out that one of my favorite movies, Matango, is based off a story by another author who went on, who H.P. Lovecraft cites as an inspiration and an early person in the genre that Lovecraft is credited with creating, or not created, but making popular, of weird fiction.
Huh.
So, because of that, I've decided that I need to look into more Lovecraft stuff.
I just want a goddamn proper Call of Cthulhu movie.
I just
Good
want...
luck.
I know. Everyone, like, they've been put out, but they're like weird, or like black and white, or silent, or just stupid. And like, come on. Just
because they're black and white and silent doesn't make them a bad movie.
It does when they're made in fucking 2000s.
That's true. Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't, but Jesus.
That movie sucked.
Yep. See, I just want a fucking Call of Cthulhu movie. The Mist is like the closest thing I'll ever get to seeing Cthulhu on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know there's a black and white version of The
Mist.
Mist?
To do it.
What?
Jay, have you ever watched the black and white version of The Mist?
I have, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's way better than the colored version.
It adds so much like creep factor to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got the special edition Blu-ray that has it on there.
Ooh, me too, girl. All right. Kenneth, what you got for us?
Day of the Dead.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had yours picked. I thought I knew exactly what you were going to choose, and here you are surprising me.
What did you think I was going to pick?
The Return of the Living Dead.
Nope.
Man, is it too punk for you? Is it not metal enough?
We need some.
I loved Return of the Living Dead, but for me and me being a serious person, I prefer Day of the Dead over.
Wow.
And just because, number one, you know, I'm a Romero fan. I liked this one, you know, because obviously I couldn't say Dawn of the Dead because Dawn of the Dead wasn't in the 80s. But I like this one because, you know, it's really got that element of human against human with zombies in the background.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
which is a lot of zombie movies. That's the best part about it, is actually the human versus human relationship.
Right. And see, this one is one of the first ones, you know, to really be out in the forefront. I mean, you know, because this was way before, you know, the fucking zombie craze that we've had over the past few years. And this was long, long before fucking The Walking Dead and all the rest of that. So, you know, and then watching it as a kid, the same thing when I got into zombie movies, you know, because like I told you before, one of the first, if not the first that I can remember watching was Night of the Living Dead. So naturally, if I had seen that, my dad was going to be like, oh, you got to see the sequels, you know? And so I really enjoyed it, man. I mean, I like the way the zombies looked. I think they look better than they did in Dawn of the Dead, with the exception of your icons from Dawn of the Dead. And then the human versus human. And then you've also got Bub, which is great. You know, he was a great zombie. So, you know, I mean, it's just all the way around. I think it was a good movie.
Fair
and that
enough.
would probably be the one I would watch more from that year than any of the rest.
Fair enough. Well, if you know me, then you probably know what movie I'm going to choose. Because it's Silver Bullet. Because
I knew it.
It's my favorite werewolf movie of all time. And this movie actually scared me when I was a kid. I saw this when I was very, very young, like kindergarten, first grade. And I lived in apartments, and after seeing that movie that night, I could have sworn there was a werewolf outside my window. Even though
I was watching you. I decided not to eat you.
Okay, I have a question for you then, because I was on the second floor. Did you bring a ladder?
Werewolves
didn't
can
you know
climb buildings.
I was going to say, didn't you know werewolves could fly?
No, they can't.
Because this was like
they
these were like
just dig into the building.
Like
Come
these
on,
were
man.
because like I lived in the old school like literal like red brick.
Yeah.
You
You don't know the true power of a werewolf.
Yeah, man. Don't you know they scaled the walls and shit?
I know you got your ass fucked up in the eye by a little boy in a fucking souped up wheelchair banging on them fireworks. How about that? Huh?
You know what's funny is I saw The Wizard and Princess Bride before I ever saw Silver Bullet, so it was just way too funny to me.
Wait, why is that fun? I don't get that.
Isn't that the same kid?
No.
Damn,
That is not the fucking. Because
Are you sure?
the kid from Princess Bride, isn't he from like fucking Wonder Years?
Yeah, that's not the same kid in
No.
Silver Bullet.
No.
Who's the kid in Silver Bullet?
Corey Haim in Silver Bullet.
Okay, I just know Marty was not played by fucking Wonder Years, dude.
No, he was played by Corey Haim.
Word.
Oh yeah,
That's
you're
who
right.
he was.
My bad.
Yeah. So.
Well, they all look the same, so I'm just gonna shut up now.
If you don't be quiet, Jay, I'm gonna stick Gary Busey's teeth on you.
I mean, because he went on from Silver Bullet. He did. Then after that, he did Lost Boys and fucking some of the other ones that he was in at the time.
Yeah.
Because it was the Coreys, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan Chase over on the Skeleton Crew for leaving Silver Bullet out of his top 10 movies of all time and feeling like an idiot for it. How did you put House of the Devil on your list at number 10 and not Silver Bullet? House of the Devil sucks, Dan.
Me and Dan need to have a conversation about that because I love House of the Devil.
He loves
Yeah, it
House of the
wasn't very
Devil
good,
too.
my friend.
See, me and Jay.
Fuck you.
Jay's with me. House of the Devil.
Nothing happens until the end.
Well, I tell you what. How about we get Dan on our show, and then me and him will go against you two, and we will battle it out.
Dan, if you're hearing us, you're gonna come on the show, and we're gonna do House of the Devil, and it's gonna be me.
I don't want to have to watch that again.
Jay.
Yes,
Jay. I had to rewatch The Village.
Yeah, and we made Jerry watch Nightmare on Elm Street. So.
And Nightmare on Elm Street.
He should have liked that. It's not my fault.
Yeah, well, you should have had a better director do a better job. House of the Devil is fucking terrible. Okay, anyway, Dan, future episode, you're coming on to do House of the Devil. You and Kenneth are gonna have to go against me and Jay, and we're gonna have a battle royale to see who wins. And at the end of the episode,
how do we determine who wins?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. Well, I will come in with an objective mind, and if I feel that they beat us, I will admit defeat. I did it for The Village. I think
You'll have to admit defeat for both of us then.
Oh no, I'm still going to think the movie sucks, but if they can at least if they can have a better argument of why the movie is good compared to our argument of why the movie is bad, then we'll do it. It's the opposite of Horror Coliseum. This is a battle royale to see who. It's a tag team match for the tag team championships, table, ladders, chairs, because all those things do nothing, just like the entire fucking movie of House of the Devil.
I'll make sure to rewatch the last 20 minutes, and then we can have a full-on discussion about how terrible the movie is.
Anyhow, all right, let's get back to this.
Okay. So yeah, my favorite werewolf movie of all time, Silver Bullet. I absolutely love this movie. And let's get into other movies from 1985. You had Cat's Eye by Stephen King.
Great movie. You
had one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies, Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. You had Fright Night, Ghoulies, Hills Have Eyes Part 2, Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
No, she's not.
Oh, like Mr. Werewolf over there? Oh, come over there and kick you in the fucking nards. The Mutilator, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, Pneumonia or Phenomenon, one of those two, by Dario Argento, Return of the Living Dead, and The Stuff by Larry Cohen. So
Stuff was such a terrible movie.
It was so shitty that it was good.
No, not even shitty enough to be good.
It was. I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, man, this is so great.
I think it's okay. I liked the remake of it with Ivan Ooze. I thought that was a little better, but whatever. So, Kenneth, what was your backup? What almost took your number one spot?
Nightmare 2.
Nightmare 2. Damn it! I really thought it'd be Return of the Living Dead. Why am I so wrong?
Because I thought Freddy looked the creepiest in Nightmare 2.
Oh, okay. Jay,
Uh,
was yours the stuff?
no, God, stop it! It could have been Return of the Living Dead, Nightmare 2. There's a few that I liked.
Mine was Friday the 13th Part 5, because while I do love Return of the Living Dead, I watched Friday the 13th Part 5 so much as a kid. Of course, the TV edits, unfortunately, but I still really liked them. I can forever remember the machete coming out of the tree and cutting the fat dude's head off, and I was like, oh, thank the Lord Almighty, that dude was annoying. So, 1984. Dum dum dum. Actually, you know, I 1984 was surprising for me because not that many great movies, honestly.
If either of you can't guess what my one is, then we're not friends anymore.
Is it? Oh no, I've got it. It has got to be Silent Night, Deadly Night. I know how much you love Christmas. Is it
No.
not that? Is it Chud?
No.
Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn. Yeah. Was it Gremlins? Did you go with the kids movie?
Oh man, Gremlins is so good, but no.
I don't know what else could be. There's like no other good movies that year.
You're right.
Well,
I
in
don't
that
know
case,
either.
we will let Jay go first. Jay, grace us with your favorite.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street.
I knew it.
I hope so.
Tell us why.
We had a whole show on this.
Okay.
I don't need to say anything.
I'll let
It's
you.
amazing.
I'll let you slide.
I really should have wrote down the show number for that, knowing that Jay would pick that.
Yeah.
But we did it.
You
We did
should
it.
have.
We did an episode on there, and it's great because Jay loves this movie, and I think it's stupid.
And I kind
Yeah,
of, by the
especially
end of
for
the
one.
episode, I kind of was in the middle.
It was fantastic. Okay, Kenneth, 1984. What do you got?
Can you guess?
I'm assuming you chose the same thing I did and went Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so go into it, and if I have anything to add, I'll add to it.
All right, man. So, this one, even though Friday 7 is my favorite out of the series, Friday 4 is a pinnacle in the series. It is. I honestly think that, getting past my personal feelings on it and going with what it is, it's probably the high point of the entire series. The special effects were fucking amazing. The story was good. It brought us one of the fucking most iconic characters next to Jason, which is going to be Tommy Jarvis. All the music in it, I thought was pretty good. The actors that were in it, I mean, you had Crispin Glover in it. You had other ones that were in there, man. They were really good. Everything about it was good. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, and it gave us the wonderful line of "dead fuck," which is hilarious, and it also gave us the great question: where is the corkscrew? Oh, and did that dog kill himself, or did Jason throw him out the window?
Jason.
Right.
That's actually a big thing. A lot of people
think he
that
jumped out.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the dog committed suicide. Well, not like on suicide. It would be an accidental death, but the dog thought it would be better to jump out of the window than to go toe to toe with Jason.
Yeah, the dog was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. I don't have much else to add. Kenneth pretty much hit the nail on the head. I do think it is the best made Friday the 13th movie. All around, it has some of the best writing, some of the best kills, some of the... It feels like an actual story. A lot of time, these slasher movies, they don't feel like an actual story. You're just there to see tits and kills. But with this, I actually care about the characters by the end of the movie. They're all well written. They're all well done. It's just, to me, it is the pinnacle of slasher movies. It is... If someone put a gun to my head and said, what's the best slasher movie of all time? I'm saying Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Joseph Zito did a fantastic job.
Right. And then you also got the the dude coming back looking for his sister in this one. So that's a throwback to one of the previous movies, other than just your normal tropes. Like I said, overall it was great.
Yeah, and it must be good because the entire remake is based off supernatural long hair guy coming back to try to find his sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and the other thing on top of that, man, most of the time, if you talk to people that are Friday fans, if you talk to them or people that aren't, as long as it's not the really, really young audience that only knows from, around the Jason X on time on up, even later than that, most everybody knows that the one that they remember more than any of the rest is Friday 4.
Yep. All right. 1984. I said all of them earlier when I was making jokes to Jay. So, Kenneth, did you have a backup?
Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet. Ooh, nice choice.
That was my runner-up.
Jay,
it was very difficult between the two of them for me.
Was your runner-up Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter?
It is such a hard choice because it's probably my favorite Friday movie, but Nightmare's my favorite horror series, so that one had to get the top spot.
Gotcha. I didn't have. I really didn't have a backup, but I was like, well, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Silent Night, Deadly Night, because it's corny in the best ways.
Oh, it's good.
So
the killing had begun, but at first no one knew it. You see, Arnie Westrom was a chronic drunk, and what happened seemed like an accident. The county coroner concluded that Arnie had passed out on the tracks. There wasn't enough evidence to conclude anything else.
1983. Jay, let's let you go for 1983. I'm sorry, what?
Thriller, the Thriller music video, which I'm counting as a movie, so fuck you.
Okay, then.
I counted it as a movie, too, because the full version of that video...
It's like 40 minutes long.
Yeah, it might as well be a little short film. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the judges. Judges, how do you feel about this? Uh-huh. Okay. They said Vincent Price is in it, therefore it counts.
Right.
Okay, good. But yeah, I looked at everything that came out that year, and the Thriller video is probably the most entertaining thing for me that I've watched the most.
But you had your Jaws 3D was there.
Yeah.
You had House of the Long Shadows.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Videodrome.
I like Thriller better than Videodrome.
Oh man, I don't. Whew. Okay, fair enough.
The one thing that I can say,
and werewolves.
The one thing that I can say about Thriller that I thought was really cool is if you really think about it, the zombies in Thriller look so much. They're like a precursor to the zombies in Return of the Living Dead 2.
Fair enough.
Have you ever really thought about it?
There's even a Thriller joke in Return of the Living Dead 2.
Right.
And they're all getting electrocuted.
Right. So I wonder. I need to go back and I need to look at that and see if who did the special effects for Thriller. Do you know?
No.
Yeah, I need to go look and see if it's the same dude.
Who directed Thriller, Jay?
Michael Jackson?
No. Jeez.
Why not?
No, it was John Landis.
Same dude that directed American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good movie.
Kenneth, what do you got for us?
Cujo.
This was
Rick Baker, special effects guy.
Oh yeah, Rick Baker's fantastic. Also, from American Werewolf in London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go.
Cujo. Kenneth, why do you like dogs?
It's not really that, man. Cujo is one of those movies, man, that I really appreciated growing up. Because when I watched it for the first time and I was very young, and I think the first time that I watched it, I was right around the same age as the little boy in the movie.
Ah.
And so I related to it really, really well. And
I
then
also remember the time I was trapped by a giant Saint Bernard.
So that just made it more scary to me because it made it more real. You know, because you're sitting there and you're watching. I'm watching on the screen. I'm watching this kid that's about the same age as me and looks a lot like I did at the time. Because when I was a kid, I had blonde hair, looked about like that. You know, it was one of those things where it made it that much more real to me, to where it was just like, okay, this shit could really happen. And then if you really think about the story, it is very plausible for it to be that way. It's very plausible for two people, a mother and a child, to be so terrified of this animal that has rabies to be stuck in a car.
Yeah.
And can't get out because they're afraid of being, you know, mauled to death. You know, and this mom, the only thing she's really thinking about is she's thinking about trying to save her son's life, but at the same time dealing with the frustrations of being stuck in there and so on. I mean, if you really dive into, you know, the psychological aspects of this movie, it's really, really deep. It's a lot more deep than just people being afraid of a dog. Sure. And so that's the reason why I liked it as much as I did. And it became a fucking Halloween and every Halloween watch for me after that.
Fair enough. I have a story about Cujo, and y'all are probably going to laugh at me for this, but when I was a kid, my grandfather showed me Cujo, and I told him that wasn't a real Saint Bernard. And he thought that I knew it was a fake dog at certain points. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Real Saint Bernards have a barrel that they wear around their neck full of beer."
Oh,
it's rum.
Well, all I knew was beer. I was very, very young. Full of beer because I've seen it in cartoons. That's what they do.
That's the cutest thing I ever did hear.
And
right.
And he explained to me that that is not all. That doesn't make a Saint Bernard, and that's only up in icy countries and not down in hotter countries. So
that's sweet.
That's stupid kid Jerry. Jay, 1983.
I did it. I did my whole Michael Jackson impression and everything.
I know. I wanted you to pick another. I'm just kidding. Okay. Mine was Sleepaway Camp. Out of all the slasher movies that take place at a camp, Sleepaway Camp does it the best.
That was my backup.
It has one of the best twist endings ever. It is such a fantastic movie, and I'm so glad that Kenneth showed me Sleepaway Camp because I had never seen it. I didn't know about the twist ending, nothing. And Kenneth was like, "Oh, you got to see this shit," and he made me watch it, and I was blown away by that. It was fantastic. I love the movie so much. Sleepaway Camp is like I want to start a list of like 5 movies to watch every summer. And, like, on top of that list is Jaws, but, like, right underneath that is Sleepaway Camp.
Hell yeah.
So.
It's like I fucked up Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah. So, in 1983, we had other Stephen King movies. We had Christine and The Dead Zone.
Dead Zone's good. I love the Dead Zone TV series.
The Dead Zone movie was actually done by David Cronenberg. And Christine was done by John Carpenter, and Cujo was done by Louis Teague, who Louis Teague also did Cat's Eye, and he did another movie that'll be coming up here soon, because I'm going to mention it. You also had Microwave Massacre.
I watched that the other day.
I'm sorry?
And yes. And so I went shopping for movies, and it was an Arrow release, and the cover art and the description on the back made me go, "Ooh, I have to buy this." And I was expecting very cheesy but gore-filled movie, and there's no gore.
Yeah, Arrow was sitting there like, "Gotcha, bitch."
It's just like it's puns. 90% of the script is fucking puns about eating people.
Yep.
And it's funny, but I was expecting like a gore-filled fun time, and it didn't have it. So now that's sitting on my shelf, and I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah. We also had Psycho 2, which is a great psychological horror movie, and Videodrome. So Videodrome was my backup. What was your backup, Kenneth?
Psycho 2.
Psycho 2? Okay. And, Jay just said his, so I won't do his. Okay, 1982, and I'm going first on 1982 because it has one of my favorite movies of all time, top 10 movie of all time, The Thing. We recently tackled The Thing versus Alien in Horror Coliseum, show number 21, so you can go back and listen to all of that wonderfulness. But John Carpenter's The Thing to me is a like almost perfect movie. I love it so much. It is in my top 5 horror movies of all time. It's probably in my top 3 horror movies of all time. I'm absolutely in love with it. Kurt Russell as MacReady is fantastic. The special effects are fantastic. Everything about this movie is fantastic. And that's what I gotta say about that. Jay, favorite movie from 1982. Ho.
I almost said The Thing, but I knew for sure you were gonna say The Thing.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't, just so we would have different things to talk about.
Damn,
so
look at you.
I went with the original Creepshow for 82.
Yeah, so you can match me.
Well, I don't fucking know you as well, okay?
I really thought Kenneth was going to be like, it's Basket Case, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
It was between Creepshow and Cat People for me.
Oh, wow. Cat People? Really? I thought you might have thrown Poltergeist in there.
Poltergeist would have probably been my third.
But
Cat People, it was between Cat People and Creepshow for me.
Well, I'll switch to Poltergeist if it makes the show better.
Well, I mean, the way I feel about Creepshow is I really don't think that we really need to talk about it. I mean, Creepshow is just it's amazing. It's one of the greatest anthology movies of all time.
I agree.
Okay, I got a question though. Okay, what
42.
is your? Damn, that was good. Holy shit! Are you a mathematician? Are you Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park? Can you explain chaos theory to me again? Here's my hand. I need to know.
Oh, I'm gonna poop myself.
Okay, seriously though, what is your?
I saw this. I'm sorry, that made me think about this T-shirt that I saw when I was at the motorcycle rally yesterday. I saw there was this T-shirt that just said, all it did is it's got a stick figure with his hands up in the air and he says, "I pooped today."
Okay. To go slightly off topic again, I have a Jeff Goldblum toy from Jurassic Park, and he lives in a Castle Grayskull I have.
Oh, that's
nice.
sweet.
And actually, Jay, he actually kicked your Mego Spider-Man out of the fucking house so he could have it.
The fuck?
Yeah, Mego Spider-Man originally lived there, but when I got Jeff Goldblum the next year, Jeff Goldblum kicked him out. Have you ever tried to
Done. We're done. I'm going home.
But it worked out because then Spider-Man was like, "Oh, I don't have a house. Send me somewhere." And I was like, "I guess you're going to Jay now." And now you have
with my other Spider-Man.
You have an old school Mego.
That's true. So that worked out for the best.
Yeah, it's bad and bougie over there with your Mego. Okay. I was gonna fucking say something, and now for the life of me, I can't remember. Whoa. Okay. 2 things. Have either one of y'all seen that Creepshow documentary?
Nope.
I really want to see it. Second thing, we'll start with Kenneth, since Jay got to pull Creepshow first. Kenneth, your favorite segment from Creepshow? I'm putting you on the spot. You are in the hot seat.
Damn. I'd probably have to go with the head sticking out of the sand.
Okay, that's a really good one. I like that one.
That's probably it would be a toss up between that one.
Hold on, no. Hold up. Let's all 3 get ours in before you name another one. Jay.
Okay.
What do you got?
If you'll let it count, the wraparound.
I will let it count because you chose Thriller. I mean, I already got outvoted there because Vincent Price was in it. I might as well let you have one.
I love the wraparound. I love it.
I love Reach Around.
It's such a good ending.
Okay, fair enough. Mine's The Crate.
If we're going actual segments, that's my favorite actual segment. The wraparound is.
I love The Crate.
I just love it.
It's got a monster in it, and everyone knows I love monsters. That's it. All right, Kenneth, what was your other one? Was it The Crate?
No.
Was it The Cockroach?
No.
Was it my dick?
No.
Okay, what was it?
It was the other one.
The birthday, the cake one, the zombie cake one.
Yeah. Because I always, man, that scene where the dude's looking up at the headstone, and it's slowly, you know what I'm saying, coming across, and then all of a sudden it's just like splat. Have you ever picked a headstone up?
No, but I've picked up a casket with the tall man once.
No, I'm saying those headstones, dude, are insanely heavy. So
Yeah,
it's like, so I'm like, I was just like, man.
Well, all you gotta do, Kenneth, is wrap your hands in communist duct tape, and you can do that because you can literally set off a bullet with a hammer with communist duct tape. Shout out to our Phantasm show.
But that was my second favorite.
All right, so 1982, we had Amityville 2: The Possession. We had Basket Case. We had Friday the 13th Part 3. We had my runner-up, which is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, because it is the best Halloween movie ever. I love it. It is a great mystery and has the most depressing ending ever, and it's awesome. We had Poltergeist. We had Q by Larry Cohen. We had Slumber Party Massacre. We had...
Oh, I love those movies. They're so stupid,
they're
cheesy.
they're really good. We had Tenebrae. We had Tenebrae by Dario Argento. So, Kenneth, what was your runner-up here?
I told you it was like cat people.
Oh yeah, I forgot you said
cat
that
people.
shit. Jay, what's your runner-up? What was your next choice? Was it you said Poltergeist?
Yeah. Well, I said I didn't pick The Thing because you were gonna pick it. So
Oh, okay.
The Thing or Poltergeist, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Not with the new flesh.
Okay, 1981. Kenneth, what do you got?
Ghost Story.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Ghost Story.
Never heard of it. Explain.
Me either. Yeah. Delight us with tales.
It's probably one of the, and I don't know if it's the first. I don't want to call it the first, but it's definitely one of the earlier versions of the movies where you've got a vengeful spirit that's coming back to fuck with people.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's really, really good. The special effects are awesome. It's got Fred Astaire in it.
Huh, weird.
Yeah. And he's like, and basically the gist of the movie is you've got these 4 really old guys. And in their younger years, they were all after this chick. And some kind of party happened or whatever. And one of them fucked up and killed her. And then they hid it. And then, the rest of the movie is the crazy shit that they're going through in their 60s or 70s or 80s or however old they are. That doesn't specify in the movie.
Right.
But what they're going through, you know what I'm saying, while this ghost is trying to get at them. And not only is it fucking with them, it's also fucking with one of them's kids.
Oh.
Because the one of them's sons, they're both grown, they're adults, and it starts fucking with them too. So it's really, really good. Like I said, the special effects is great. Slow burn, but it's still really, really good. So if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's awesome. They got the Blu-ray on Shout Factory.
Gotcha. All right, Jay, what do you got?
An American Werewolf in London.
By John Landis and Rick Baker on special effects.
Probably the most badass practical effect werewolf transformation there ever was and ever will be.
Definitely.
I definitely agree that the best werewolf transformation on camera ever is American Werewolf in London, hands down. Is there anything are there people out there who haven't seen American Werewolf in London by now? Everyone's...
I'm sure there are.
Well, fuck those people.
Well, you got to take into consideration, we are slowly getting old. And so, the younger audience, I'd be willing to bet that if there wasn't people like us to tell them that they needed to watch it, probably not.
Shit, I still look like I'm 15. I'm young as fuck. So
No, you're starting to get up there.
shut your mouth. Shut your dirty whore mouth.
You shut your whore mouth, Shannon.
All right. Well, this year was the hardest for me, and even though I had my list made like 4 months ago when I originally brought up this idea, I did not have this picked until 1981, picked until today, when it was shit or get off the pot time. And I chose The Howling. Because
Over American Werewolf in London?
over American Werewolf in London, because I think The Howling is a better story, and I like the werewolf design more, and it has one of the greatest endings to a movie ever. And it's like The Mist. When you have an ending that is so damn good that like literally if we were to sit down and make a list of top 5 endings of all time in movies, The Howling would probably would most likely at least be in my number 5 spot. When Karen is doing, she survived all this shit. She is sitting there at the end of the movie doing her news report, and she just starts transforming right there to show the world that there are werewolves. And then Chris has to fucking blow her brains out while she's doing the transformation. It's fantastic. As like, you got to think, because people in that world are now questioning if werewolves are real. Was this special effects? What is going on here?
That's fair.
It's just fantastic. Also, I love the setup of the movie where Karen goes to meet Eddie, who's a serial killer, in a like porn theater, and he forces her to watch like some chick getting raped, and she can't turn around, and when she turns around, it's fantastic. I love it. I just think it's super well done. It's that ending is what did it for me. Because my runner up was The Evil Dead, because I have such nostalgic attachment to it. But at the end of the day, it's the ending for The Howling that won it for me. So
Fair enough.
And I mean, guys, listen to this lineup for 1981. American Werewolf in London, The Beyond, The Burning, Cannibal Ferox, The Evil Dead, Friday the 13th, Part 2, Halloween 2, The Howling, My Bloody Valentine, Omen 3, James Cameron's greatest movie ever, Piranha 2, and the Prowler, which to me, the Prowler hands down might have some of Savini's best work.
My runner up was between Evil Dead and Friday 2.
Yeah, I mean, and also
Same.
We did The Prowler. It was the first movie that we all 3 reviewed on
That's
episode.
true.
Shit, what was that?
Nostalgia.
What was that? Episode 4 or 5? It was episode 4 or 5. I think it was episode
Something
4.
like
We did The Prowler and The Witch. So yeah, it's so hard to pull. Like, The Beyond is a classic by Fulci. Friday the 13th Part 2 is one of the best in the series. Piranha 2 is just one of the craziest ideas ever. I can't believe James Cameron pulled that off and made such a 10 out of 10 movie. It was so good that they didn't even want to like let James Cameron edit it. They were just like, "You've done enough, go home." And James Cameron said, "No, fuck that." And he broke into the editing room and edited that shit himself anyway.
Is that a real story?
Yes. Read it. James Cameron got banned. They kicked him off and said, "You can't edit this film." And he broke into the editing room and edited the shit anyway.
Good for him.
But yeah, I mean, holy shit! Like, 81 is to me, 81 is the best year in horror in the entire decade of the 1980s.
I think you're drunk, but that's fine.
What do you think year had a
with
better?
Jay.
What year had a better year in the 80s than 81?
84.
84 had fucking Friday the 13th Part 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street and Gremlins.
Yep, those are 3 of my favorite fucking movies.
Okay, but 3. 1981 has An American Werewolf in London, The Beyond, Evil Dead,
never seen it.
Friday the
That one's
13th
good.
Part 2, Halloween
That one's
2,
okay.
The Howling. Like, just right there's 6 movies that would be in people's top fucking 5s.
But they don't apply to me.
I will apply this dick to you until
okay.
until you learn that 1981 is the greatest year in the 1980s. I will learn you today, sir.
You gonna learn, son.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I went a little overboard. My bad. Okay. Let's close this out, guys. 1980. I'm taking first run at this one, baby. In episode 7 of Kill the Cast, we did Alligator, which is my favorite movie from 1980. It is directed by Louis Teague, who we talked about earlier from Cujo and Cat's Eye, and he did a few other really good movies. Alligator is great. The character David Madison, played by Robert Foster, is hilarious. He is one of my all-time favorite movie cops. The shit between him and the reptile chick, Marisa Kendall, whatever the fuck her name was, is great. They have great chemistry. It's hilarious. Special effects are really good. But the scene that makes this movie, I did a other greatest moments of horror history on this, and it is when the kids force another child at a birthday party to walk the plank at night, and as soon as they've got him at the edge of the diving board, the mother opens the sliding glass door, turns on the light, and you see the fucking giant alligator in the pool raising its head up, and then they push the kid into the pool, and you see the fucking kid go into the alligator's mouth, and then blood fills the pool. It is fantastic. It is one of the greatest scenes ever made in the history of horror films. I absolutely love this movie. Kenneth, you did that podcast with me. Isn't that movie so good and underrated?
Yeah, Alligator's really underrated, but it's probably one of the top creature films in my list of creature features.
Oh yeah, and I'm a huge creature feature fan. And yeah, it is in my top 5 creature feature films of all time. It probably actually takes the number 2 spot right behind Jaws.
Yeah, and I mean, it also is one of those that I watched a lot when I was a kid.
Yep. All right, Jay, 1980. What do you have for us?
Friday the 13th.
Fair enough. That's a solid pick. It started a franchise. It gave us Tom Savini. I mean, Tom Savini was already there. What am I talking about? I'll shut up. Why do you pick Friday the 13th?
It's just the first in the other great horror series that I love, so I couldn't not pick it.
Fair enough. All right.
It's not even my favorite It's not even my favorite, but it is.
But you have
without it, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah, you have such attachment to it because it kickstarted one of the greatest horror franchises of all time.
Right.
All right, Kenneth, you're ending us with 1980. What is your favorite pick?
Altered States.
I've never seen this movie.
I've never even heard of it.
It's amazing. It's about a guy who's he later on becomes a Harvard professor in the movie, but it's about a guy, man, who he's got this thing about altered states of consciousness. And so he messes around with sensory deprivation and hallucinogens to try to get to different states of consciousness. He also has a big interest in schizophrenia and things like that, to a point to where he doesn't believe that schizophrenia is a mental disorder. He believes that a schizophrenia is a person that has evolved to see different levels of their own consciousness blended in with different levels of different planes of existence.
Holy
shit. Yeah, it's awesome. And it's like, when you hear people with schizophrenia talk about how they see things differently, and his belief is that the way they're seeing it is because they're seeing it from a more primordial look and take on things, almost like they can see the atoms and the molecules and how energy makes up everything that we live in. But the whole backstory of this is that he goes to Mexico and he gets this drug that they've got in Mexico, and it makes it makes LSD look like ginger beer, and he goes into a sensory deprivation tank, and because of what he's wanting to learn and everything, he's basically wanting to get closer to God, and so he regresses to the point of being the tiny amoeba in the start of life.
Holy shit.
Dude, it's insane. It is such a good movie.
Damn, I gotta find this movie. Holy, wow!
You rent it on Vudu.
That is intense. I wonder if it's got a Blu-ray release.
It does.
Oh,
it's on Amazon.
All right, then I might have to get it. All right, so 1980 was also another very, very strong year. You had Cannibal Holocaust, The Changeling. Shout out to the first episode of Kill the Cast, City of the Living Dead by Lucio Fulci. You had The Fog by John Carpenter. You had Hell of the Living Dead, another exploitation Italian film by Bruno Mattei. You had Humanoids of the Deep, produced by Roger Corman, directed by...
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, directed by Barbara Peters. That's a fantastic movie. You had Maniac by William Lustig. Maniac is fantastic and has one of the probably like the second best known head explosion of all time. You had Prom Night, and you had The Shining by Stanley Kubrick.
And Terror Train and Motel Hell.
Motel Hell, yep, that was there too. I mean, this was a really, really, really strong year. Kenneth, what was your runner-up?
It was a toss-up between Cannibal Holocaust and Motel Hell.
Okay, mine was Cannibal Holocaust. That was straight up my second pick. But it was between that and Humanoids of the Deep, because Humanoids of the Deep is such a guilty pleasure for me.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, man, it's so fun. Funny story, Jay, if you don't know this, do you know how many of those actual suits they had for the creature?
Just because you're asking as a trivia question, I'm going to say 1.
3. They only had 3. Okay, so Jay, what was your second pick? What was your runner-up?
Humanoids.
Humanoids? Yeah. That's my dude right there. So that is...
that one's fairly Lovecraftian.
Yeah. Why do monsters always want to bang the hot chicks, though? Like...
Wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't know if I was a monster. Maybe I'd want monster pussy. I don't know that I'd want...
No,
dude,
see,
I don't really. In the long run, I really don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? If you're an ugly monster or you're a hot fucking dude, you still want to nail the hot chick.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, fair enough. Maybe I'm like, that bitch ain't even got gills. I ain't tapping that. No? Okay, fair enough. All right, so
maybe I don't know.
All right, so that was the best of the 80s for us. Thank you for joining us. We hope you had a blast. We would love to know what decade you want us to tackle next. Do you want us to do the 90s, the 2000s, the 70s?
Yeah, the 90s or the 2000s? Or the 90s or the 2000s? Those are great decades.
Yeah.
I'm down for the 70s next.
Maybe one day, Kenneth, what we should do is we need to make our list for the older decades. So on the shows that Jay can't make it, we can do those since Jay can't really. Jay, can you at least do the 70s or no?
Oh, I could do the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
just finna say, because the 70s is right on the cusp of where he doesn't like shit.
Okay.
No, it's not doesn't like it. It's just I've never had an attachment to it, so I've never seeked any of it out.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
Don't worry about coming up with excuses. We know you don't like anything before the 80s.
That's not true. I could do the 70s, and I bet if I did enough research, I could do the 60s too.
Either way, guys, let us know what you want us to tackle next: 70s, 90s, 2000s, and we'll get on that.
I say we do the 40s.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be sick that episode.
I had bad Chinese food. They put a little too much meow meow in my bark bark. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Please, by all means, let us know what your favorite is. In fact, if you send me if you email us or you comment or you even message me, and give me a written list or even a voice clip of your favorite movies from the 80s going year by year, we'll play it on a show or we'll read it on a show. I don't know if it'll be the next show or the one after that, but we'll do something. We'll do something with you sexually. So
sexually.
Thank you for joining us. You can find us in all the right places. Facebook.com/KillTheCast. Facebook.com/group/KillTheCast. You can buy our shirts. You can sign up for horror packs. You can find our YouTube channel. All of that great stuff is in the subscription. Thank you for joining us. If you're new because you're hearing us, because we're on Horrorphilia, thank you for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoyed it and had a great time. We're taking over Horrorphilia. As soon as Skeleton Crew retires in October, their corpse is ours and we're gonna fucking wear it. Yeah.
Woo! Like a hat in 3 states.
Yeah. So, Jay, do you have any parting words?
I don't.
Okay, cool. Kenneth, do you have any parting words?
No.
No. We have no parting words for you at all. So we'll see you in another decade.
Come on, let's go. Come on, Billy, be a hitter, Bill. Come on, Bill.
No problem, Gino. This guy blows dead dogs. Just lay it in there.
Eat shit and die, Ricky.
Eat shit and live, Bill.